Kimmy Antonelli's star is on a meteoric rise, drawing attention for all the right reasons as a rising talent in the racing world. Recent rumblings from deep within Formula One's inner circles suggest that his journey into the sport may be about to hit the afterburners. Speculation abounds that a pact between Williams and Mercedes is in the works, aimed at nurturing Antonelli's prodigious skills, a move that could prove mutually beneficial. Such a deal would not only usher in a new era for Antonelli, but also potentially signal the end of Sargeant's tenure in the sport. For Antonelli, a litmus test to determine if he's truly prepared for the rigours of Formula One at such a young age. However, despite a respectable start in the F2 campaign, doubts linger about whether this accelerated trajectory might have unforeseen consequences for his future. Is Antonelli being thrust into the spotlight prematurely? Could the pressures of a potential Mercedes seat in 2025 outweigh his current readiness? These are the questions swirling as the racing world eagerly anticipates how this rising star's story will unfold. Joe Saward, a highly esteemed journalist within the motorsport community, carries the FIA's accreditation and boasts over 35 years of unparalleled experience in his field. According to his latest report, there's a substantial likelihood that the upcoming Miami Grand Prix could mark the end of Logan Sargeant's tenure with Mercedes. This development stems from ongoing discussions between Mercedes and Williams aimed at slotting Kimmy Antonelli into the second seat, alongside Albon for the remainder of the season. However, executing a mid-season driver swap presents a significant gamble, regardless of the individuals involved. Such a move requires drivers to swiftly adapt to a new team and car setup, often with minimal prior knowledge. In Antonelli's case, his experience in Formula One remains relatively limited, having only recently tested F1 machinery in Austria. This lack of general F1 exposure further complicates the potential transition, raising questions about his preparedness for such a pivotal role. Despite the challenges faced by Mercedes and Williams this season, Saward believes both teams are willing to take a risk by placing Antonelli in the second seat alongside Albon. The goal is to see if Antonelli can elevate the team's performance and secure a 7th place finish in the Constructor Championship. In return, he would be guaranteed the Mercedes seat starting from 2026, which is currently the only available guaranteed seat on the grid. Joe mentioned that Mercedes is considering placing their young talent, Andrea Kimmy Antonelli, into Lewis Hamilton's seat for 2025. Antonelli, a 17-year-old Italian, has been undergoing testing with Mercedes, including sessions with both the 2021 W12 and the upcoming 2022 W13. While Mercedes is eager to promote Antonelli, he himself is concerned that it might be too early for such a big leap and suggests gaining experience with a smaller team first before joining Mercedes in 2026. James Vowles is known to oppose the idea of Williams being the primary source for Mercedes drivers, which could significantly impact Antonelli's development. Despite the rocky start of the 2024 season and the financial strain caused by crashes in Australia and Japan, Vowles might reconsider due to the urgent need for a shift in strategy. Vowles demonstrated his willingness to make bold decisions by assigning Sargeant's car to Albon in pursuit of crucial points, highlighting his ability to make tough choices when necessary, even if they don't always succeed. Currently, the progress of Sargeant's development isn't something they can rely on, despite their significant investment in the young American driver. However, due to Sargeant's financial ties with major Williams sponsors like Gulf, it's challenging to forego the guaranteed funds in favour of better team results. When discussing this topic further, Saward highlighted the primary obstacle, Antonelli's age. At under 18 years old, he hasn't reached the eligibility criteria, although notable exceptions like Verstappen exist. The FIA implemented this rule to prevent premature promotions to Formula One, emphasising the importance of progressing through lower racing categories first. The issue of obtaining a super licence is another challenge, requiring the governing body to potentially make an exception. Despite not doing so for Colton Herta previously, Antonelli's progression through F4 and F2 demonstrates the correct pathway, suggesting the FIA might consider exceptions with sufficient influence and pressure from teams. Saward suggested that Antonelli could be loaned to Williams, which is currently seeking a driver. Williams is willing to take Antonelli for 18 months, but the hurdle is his age. He won't be eligible for a super licence until he turns 18 on August 25th. Williams may seek a special allowance from the FIA. citing Max Verstappen's successful entry into Formula One at the age of 17. The argument is that if a young driver possesses the necessary skills and capabilities, they should be given the opportunity to compete. While this argument holds merit, there are several considerations to weigh, such as whether Kimmy Antonelli is truly prepared for an F1 seat at this stage. Antonelli has shown exceptional talent in lower-tier Formula One categories, and Mercedes' decision to bypass F3 in favour of him underscores their confidence. However, the F2 season hasn't started as strongly as anticipated, raising doubts about his immediate readiness. Comparisons with George Russell are also noteworthy, as Russell won the F2 championship in a highly competitive season against drivers like Lando Norris and Alexander Albon. Despite his success, Russell still spent 3 years with Williams before transitioning to Mercedes. These factors highlight the complexities involved in evaluating Antonelli's readiness for Formula One and the potential risks and rewards associated with fast-tracking his entry into the sport. Antonelli's career trajectory might seem smoother, but it's uncertain if he'll follow Verstappen's path. Will Buxton commented that Toto Wolff's lingering regret about missing out on Verstappen could influence signing Antonelli. Despite Alonso's decision to join Aston Martin, Mercedes remains focused on securing Antonelli for the 2026 seat, evident in their contract offers, like the 1+1 deal proposed to Sainz with an optional second year. One major question looms large. Will Williams commit to this mission and replace their academy driver, Sargeant, with someone who will eventually move on after a certain period? James Vowles, the team principal of Williams, highlighted this concern, emphasising their responsibility towards nurturing their own young talents rather than merely serving as a breeding ground for Mercedes. Despite their close ties with the Silver Arrows, Vowles stated that Williams aims to prioritise merit in their recruitment decisions. Vowles expressed confidence in Kimmy's potential to reach Formula One, given his outstanding performance in Junior Series. However, he clarified that this doesn't guarantee a spot at Williams. The team is focused on investing in their youth programme, nurturing talent from within rather than relying solely on external recruits. Currently, Williams has 2 juniors in F2 and 1 in F3, indicating a strategic approach to developing the next generation of drivers. On the other hand, Toto Wolff's position at Mercedes provides a range of options due to their status as one of the top teams on the grid. With Albon and Sargeant secured under contract, along with promising junior drivers, Mercedes is taking a wait-and-see approach over the next 6 months. The decision-making process for both Williams and Mercedes is complex, given the unique circumstances, prompting the Silver Arrows to make decisions swiftly. With Hamilton's surprising announcement to join Ferrari starting in 2025, Toto Wolff is cautious about not adding undue pressure on Antonelli or hyping him up excessively, which could backfire on his career. However, the reality is that options seem limited. Verstappen isn't likely to leave, and offering the seat to a driver like Sainz would jeopardise their plans for 2026. What are your thoughts on the possibility of Antonelli moving to Williams from 2026 onwards? Do you believe it could be a mutually beneficial arrangement for both parties? Share your opinions in the comments below.